Hey, my name's Lenny Panzica. You might know me from the G.I. Joe Classified line, and I'm here to tell you your childhood was trash if you didn't watch Conan the Barbarian. There's literally, I feel like every movie Arnold was in was about how jacked he was, like in Commando, in the beginning, chopping down the trees, and he's playing the steel drums, dun, 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 and he picks up a log, and he walks in the, what does he make, Matrix? His name is, that's right. The helicopters come down when his daughter gets kidnapped.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
After he makes her a peanut butter jelly sandwich. That scene, dude, my brother and I watch Commando.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen Commando. That was his run up against Stallone, right? Because there was Rambo, so he did Commando.
Yeah.
Or was it vice versa? Like one of them was coming out one. Yeah,
very competitive with each other. I think didn't he trick Stallone into doing throw mama from a train or no stop or my mama will shoot?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he tricked him into doing the movie or something like that. There's like some backstory between the two of them where like he tricked him into doing a couple of movies that he shouldn't have done.
That's fantastic. Jingle All the Way,
dude. Jingle All the Way, Turbo Man. That movie.
That is a Christmas favorite. I gotta watch that every
Turbo Man. Yeah. Dude.
Sinbad, a movie that
Sinbad is amazing movie.
Yeah. Oh man, he's diabolical. Like the whole like postman going postal and like I deliver bombs every day, and one of them actually turns out to be a bomb and blows up.
Dude, he gets a little out of control. Just a touch. The '90s brought it, man. That was a '90s movie, right? That came out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No, maybe late '90s. That might have been. Right?
Yeah. '98 maybe.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Was it Post Eraser?
6. 96.
Eraser
was not good though.
No, Eraser sucked.
Wait, no.
Or True Lies.
End of Days is the one I was thinking.
Oh, that's right. End of Days with the alligators or whatever, the crocodiles in that one scene.
That movie was just not good.
No,
I actually didn't hate Eraser. That was when you said Eraser, I was like, I immediately pictured End of Days, and then I was like, yeah, that's not right.
Did they come out around the same time or something? Is that why we're blending them?
Well, I mean, no, they came out a different, decently amount apart. Like Eraser and Jingle All the Way came out around the same time.
That's wild.
That's a pivot.
Yeah. I'm going to do Eraser, and then I'm going to do Jingle All the Way. Have you guys seen the guy online who does the Schwarzenegger voice? No. And he'll sing all sorts of stuff, and I've seen
the voiceovers that he's done.
Yeah, he's got the curly mustache. The guy who does it.
Oh, I've only seen him lip syncing to like Arnold or like him singing like a Mariah Carey song in Arnold's voice, like that stuff.
He'll do posts when he just anything and just starts talking like Schwarzenegger. It's incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Which is funny because even like now, like Arnold doesn't sound like Arnold anymore. Like he's definitely toned down with that.
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
Australian accent.
He's been in the States for, ever. Like, did you see the Netflix documentary? Is awesome.
It's on my list. I haven't caught it yet.
I love him even more after watching it. He's just such a hardworking, like no nonsense kind of guy, but knows how to have fun. Like it's wild. Yeah, he's inspiring when you watch it. Like this guy knows what's up. Like he doesn't
everything
let
I've
things get in
seen,
his way.
he seems like a genuinely nice guy. It's kind of like Like, even though I hate his music, I would love to meet Post Malone just because he seems like the nicest guy in the world. I just want to give him a hug.
He's a massive nerd.
Yeah.
He has like 3 cards that are one of one in the world.
He's bought the One Ring card, didn't he?
He's got the One Ring card, plus he has 2 of his own cards.
That's amazing.
That your company put out.
Yeah. He's not he's not my kind of music either, but maybe a couple of songs I'm like, okay. But I see the nice things he does. It makes me like him more.
Yeah. You never see a bad interaction video with him. He's always just giving people hugs, and he traded some kid his shoes or whatever. Like some kid awesome. Gifted him some shoes. He's like, you can't leave here barefoot, and took the shoes off his feet and signed them and gave them to the kid. And it's like, dude, you can I watched I like watching Hot Ones. And even him on that, I don't know if it was Hot Ones or Last Meals, but he was just like so sweet, like yes please, and like he's very well spoken, and like very like I feel like he might have gotten whipped a few times as a kid into like being polite the way he talks. Like it's like this is a grown man, and like
he's just very earth.
Yeah,
he's down to earth. He probably knows what he has. You know what I mean? I feel like some celebrities know what they have, and like those are usually the nice ones, I guess.
I keep saying there's a few people that like I would I don't get celebrity struck, but Post Malone, even though I don't like his music, it's just the guy like he's so genuine. Arnold would be great, and then Terry Crews. Like I'm dying to meet Terry Crews one day.
Terry Crews is probably awesome, dude.
Yeah, everything I see, like, so he needs to be in more action movies. He was in the
he was in Expendables. He showed up in the last one, didn't he?
Yeah, he needs to be. He should be our modern day like Arnold. Like he needs to be doing, like I hated the fake out that we got in Deadpool 2, where he was Bedlam and just died with the rest of X-Force in 5 minutes. But it's like,
well, I mean, the Deadpool movies are all about that. Like we're gonna give you something sweet, and then like here's a little taste, and then when we move on.
Yeah,
my wife finally saw Deadpool 3. I'd seen it. We were watching it late. I don't know how I fell asleep watching it. But like the next morning she goes, "That was amazing." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, right?" So it's like but that movie I don't want to give away any everybody's probably seen it. Right?
Yeah, it's long enough. Don't worry.
I haven't seen it, but that's fine. You could just
we're not talking about it. We can't do that to you. I'm not doing it.
It's fine. I haven't been to the movies in a long period of time. And
it's been on streaming for like a month now. The grace period's far beyond.
He's correct. The grace period is very far gone. It's fine.
I'm not going to spoil anything, even though you're saying that it's okay. But when you watch it, the middle of the movie was everything for me. Because of the cameos that showed up.
Okay.
The one in particular, oh my God.
Yeah, I've heard that there's a fantastically high amount of cameos, and like it's been. It is very hard to like be on the internet, and when that movie was coming out and people not talking about it, it's like, so I'm like, like I can try to avoid it as much as I can, but the honest answer is like I'd have to like be off the internet and not talk to people because everybody's so in theaters. The answer is like I want to see it with my partner, but we have a 10-month-old and a 3-year-old.
It's and hard. Like,
like it.
The best part that they did was film cameos that they purposely did not put in the movie. Like,
they did that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so like there was like leaked images and like people on set and stuff, and like they did it purposely to like mislead people to think that certain actors are going to be in it.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, they're. I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds. He's like the king of trolls.
Van Wilder for you.
Yeah. Maybe he called in a few favors. Like he just show up and hang out on set for a day. Like you're in the next lot over. You can just do this for me, man. Like,
that's probably. Yeah, I'm sure. I would imagine you get to that point when you're like an actor, like you're hanging out with your buddies, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
Adam Sandler movies are him hanging out with his friends.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, picture that. Like if Adam Sandler's sitting there making Happy Gilmore 2, and Kevin James is, in the next set over doing whatever next sitcom he's doing.
Zookeeper 2.
Yeah, Zookeeper 2. You're gonna tell me there was a Paul Blart 2, right?
Yeah, there was already a Paul Blart
2. So Paul Blart 3.
They love those movies, and why do you like this movie?
Yeah,
dude, we had
Paul Blart 1 was actually pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
Good? Oh, all right.
The first one, the second one was like, all right.
They phoned it in. They knew kids liked it, so they made it one really quick, kind of deal.
I mean, for what it was like, the first one was a good movie. And I thought it was funny because that came out at the same time as Seth Rogen's Observe and Report came out, and they're kind of like the same movie.
Oh, that movie's dark, dude.
That movie's way different.
That's a different kind of mall cop.
Like, they look like they're gonna be competing movies like Ants and Bugs Life, but no. Observe and Report is definitely like, holy crap, dude, man!
Ants?
Paul Blart is like, we're getting taken over by some skateboarders, and then they had real skateboarders in the like,
but not Tony Hawk.
Yeah, not Tony Hawk.
They couldn't pull Police Academy and get Tony Hawk in there.
Yeah,
dude, Police Academy is amazing. What was it? Hightower? Was that the guy with all the guns? That guy was.
No,
no, Hightower's the tall guy.
Tackleberry. Yeah, sorry.
Tackleberry. Dude, those movies are so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We actually just met Michael Winslow at Rhode Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Michael Winslow's there, and the guy that played Sweet Chuck was there.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we had people in town. I couldn't make it to the Comic-Con this year.
Yeah.
One year, man. Yeah, it'll happen. It's crazy though that we're talking about Paul Blart Mall Cop, and like that's what like my nieces and nephews were watching. I remember specifically, I was riding my like lime green mountain bike and around the neighborhood, and my dad used to whistle, like that crazy. I can't do the whistle.
Yeah.
Like the 2-finger whistle thing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble. So like I ride over. I'm like 8 years old. Hey, want to go to movies? And I'm like, yeah. And then he goes, we're going to go see Terminator 2. I was 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
He goes, don't tell your mother. My mom was working at the time. My dad was out of work at the time. So we went to the movies to go see Terminator 2 with my brother.
That's awesome.
My brother was 10. And different growing up, you know what I mean? Than like Paul Blart,
Yeah.
Kind of explains a lot, I think. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit different to be watching at 8 than Paul Blart.
I mean, I watched my buddy. I was at his birthday party or something like that, and he was like, or some random sleepover or something like that, and he pulled out Terminator 2, and he's like, "Hey, let's watch this." And I was like, "Okay." And I had not seen the first one or really gotten into it. I was like, "This movie's fantastic.
It's awesome."
My mom was like, "What was it about?" And I told her, and she's like, "I don't know how you watched that." And I was like, "What do you think I am?"
I'm not sheltered. Come on,
dude. The scene when the Liquid Terminator goes through the bars.
Oh yeah.
At the time that technology was newer, right? Yeah. The CG, it like blew everybody's minds. I remember as a kid being like, "What the hell is this?" I'm thinking about it now, dude. When he goes in the house and he kills the lady with his finger.
Yeah.
I saw that at 8 years old.
Yeah.
My mom better not hear this because I don't think she knows my dad. She's gonna get pissed.
Statute of limitations is up. Yeah. Listen, they had toys. They had action figures. So you're exonerated, all right? Like if there's an action figure line.
That's right.
Aliens, Robocop.
Had a weird kids. Dragonheart action figure line. Remember that?
Yeah.
I am the last one. Those are dope. I love those toys. The Terminator toys are crazy though, with the skin, and you'd put the in the thing, and you squeeze the thing and that weird stuff. We had we had that at Hasbro. We had a box. We had none of the skin worked anymore because it was like 25 years old or something like that at the time. But it was pretty crazy.
Oh man, I remember that. Yeah, you had the little exoskeletons, and it was like kind of like an easy bait, creepy crawler type thing. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I remember that.
Creepy crawlers.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I loved creepy crawlers. They're squirmy, they're wormy, they're purple and green. Those little creatures that you ever seen.
Oh man,
creepy crawlers.
Do you remember the creepy crawlers cartoon?
There was a cartoon, no,
with action figures. Yeah, they're like full on like 5-inch action figures.
I didn't know. I gotta go down that rabbit hole.
I can't remember too many details, but I've been.
Were they any good?
The action figures?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the nostalgia, sure.
Okay.
Like as a kid, yeah, because they had like the gimmicks where I think you could like make their weapons and stuff like that with the molds.
Yeah.
But I don't remember too many details about it. But I've been on a kick where I want to find like old stuff from my childhood that I either had or didn't have for like action figures. Like I've been a modern collector for so long, but now all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I want this old stuff. I got the bug, and I was looking on eBay, like thinking of everything I could think of, and I was like, oh yeah, there were creepy crawler action figures, and I looked those up, and people want like $35 for a figure, and I'm like, that's not worth it to me.
Yeah, it's a little pricey. We were going into what's it called, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Remember the cartoon?
The Knights of Justice.
Cartoon. The Knights of Justice. That's right. And all the kids had an animal based on their knight. We were in that little rabbit hole for a little bit, me and my buddies, and that was.
I have all those figures from when I was a kid. Still,
they're awesome.
Even the horse.
All the He-Man mechanisms in them.
Yeah. Well, they only made like 5 figures, I think.
Yeah, because they had the bull guy, right? Remember?
So they had Arthur, obviously. They had Lancelot and Sir Darren. I think he had the black and orange. Black and orange, and then there was 2 bad guys and the horse. I forget the names, but like I have all those. I didn't get the playset because it was like a slime, like a He-Man slime pit knockoff thing or whatever that they sold.
It totally was a He-Man line. You know what I mean? Like that. Like they took that archetype. That was a cool time for action figures too, because there was the Mummies Alive line came out around then too.
I got all those. When I was
you have them still?
Yeah.
I love those cartoon, dude.
The Double Dragon figures from the Double Dragon cartoon.
I never had those. That sounds cool. I gotta take a look at those.
I had an obsession of figures that had armor, removable armor.
Yeah.
Like if it had removable armor, I wanted it. I didn't care what it was beyond that. I just wanted it. So like
it's cool.
Yeah,
You're powering up the figure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like one of the cartoons I watched as a kid a lot was Ronin Warriors. So maybe that like embedded in my
Ronin Warriors.
Yeah,
it's on Tubi.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
dude. Tubi is such a gem. It has everything on it. I watched what's it called? The original Swamp Thing from like I must have been like 79 or 81. Yeah. What a crazy movie, dude.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the TV show.
No, there's one before the TV show. It's like the first DC movie they ever made was like this crazy 70s Swamp Thing movie, and then the TV show came. And the TV show was okay, wasn't it? If I remember correctly,
the TV show was weird. Yeah. I thought I was like, I used to watch it on like USA, like at like after dark or whatever, like in the 90s, and they would put that on, and I was like, what is this? That was kind of like my mom was weird because she was like, here's Pretty Woman. I know you're only 8 years old, but here's Pretty Woman.
It's a love story.
Like, to this day, Nick still will not kiss.
I think we had different, I think because of the way we grew up with I don't think it was a bad thing. We just saw things younger. And I know with my kiddo, she sees things not younger. You know what I mean? Like we police what she watches a little bit more. She's like, we actually took her to go see Wicked, which was wild.
Oh, nice.
She loved it. In the beginning of the movie, I'm like, what's going on here? And then like as the movie went through, I was like, oh, okay, this is like totally up her alley, and she loved it. But it's like her first, like, I guess you'd call that grown-up movie.
Yeah.
Right? Grown-up movie. 3 hours. She sat down the whole time.
Wow. How old is she?
It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
No. How old is your daughter?
She's 7.
7? Okay.
Yeah, she did great.
My daughter's 6, and I let her watch stuff she probably shouldn't. Like, she is a tomboy through and through. She has like every single Ninja Turtle figure that's out there now. All awesome. The new stuff. Every time you guys keep upgrading your Joes, and I replace my Joes, she's been getting the old ones.
Oh wow!
That I've been replacing. So she has those, and she's playing with those and stuff. But she watches like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, which are like PG-13, and like, Green Goblin getting impaled by his glider. She's watching all that stuff.
Forgot how gruesome that scene was at the
end.
That movie was actually pretty rough. Like, but yeah, my mom was like a weird. Like I started to say, she's a weird one. I'll show you Pretty Woman, but also don't ever watch like anything violent or anything like that. And I'm like, I don't think you understand. Like, it was like a weird like cutout of like what she found acceptable and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was always a weird time trying to figure out like what she could and couldn't watch. But with our kids, we kind of patrol the same thing. We're like,
Yeah.
My 11-year-old wants to watch Deadpool, and we're like,
we're
gonna hold off.
A lot of genitalia jokes in Deadpool. It's like,
I think that's the one thing like I'm strict on is that if there's a little bit of violence or cursing, it's just I look at her, I'm like, you know better. Like you repeat this, you're done watching these things.
Yeah,
and she's good with that.
You got to like watch the kid too, I think, because certain kids have different thresholds for different things, right? So you don't want the kid having a nightmare. Like my kid can watch Nightmare Before Christmas when she was little, no problem. She still can watch it. Some kids see it and they get creeped out by it, right? Like, I think it's just a threshold of the kid. You know what I mean? Like everybody.
Yeah.
She watched Beetlejuice the other night with us right before bed, and like nightmare. So I think we're good.
A kid at school told my kiddo that Beetlejuice is a bad guy before she had even seen it, and that she was all freaked out by it. So then I was like, we can't have her freaked out by Beetlejuice. I was like, no, he's a mischievous guy who's kind of bad. He's just silly. So I was like, how can I fix this? So we watched the 90s cartoon.
Oh my goodness, so good. So good.
So we watched a bit of it, and she's like, "Oh, he's just kind of silly. Yeah, he's just silly." And we just kind of glaze over the fact that he's trying to marry Lydia and all that. And all that stuff.
I mean, he's trying to get back to the living world, so he's got an agenda. But it's a romance story, right? Like, that's how you sell it. Like he's just a leading man trying to get his girl. And
oh my god.
This is why he became Batman.
Yes.
Hi. I can't do the voice. I love his height. That
Yeah. I did let my daughter watch the Batman movie though.
The new one?
No, the Jack Nicholson and
Michael
Keaton one. So she's seen that.
It's kind of.
She loved it.
It's kind of.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he falls in and his mouth gets all weird, it's kind of weird, but.
Yeah,
it's not bad though. I mean, we all saw that came out when we were around that age, though. I think the 9,
it was 89, I think.
Yeah, it would have been like 6 years old.
So, it was 4.
Same.
Yeah,
5.
Dude.
5.
Yeah, look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're completely okay. We just spend thousands of dollars on plastic and
not go past that.
Capturing our
weird obsessions,
reclaiming our childhoods.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, one more little tangent. They're like going back to like my obsession with like vintage toys right now and trying to find stuff. Have you ever had something stuck in your head and you can't figure out what it is, and you like search the bowels of the internet trying to figure it out? That was me for 15 years on and off trying to figure out this toy that I had as a kid. And the best way I could describe it was it was an action figure with white, black, and like red accents. And he had like this jet armor. And in my mind, I was saying like discount Centurions. And I would search hours and hours. No, I do have some alien figures stuff from when I was a kid.
Shit, dude. Yeah.
And computer warriors.
Yes.
I got a bunch of those too. So I've spent hours, right? Occasionally over the past 15 years, Google search 80s action figures, 90s action figures, to the point where I was convinced like it must have been like a knockoff dollar store thing that I'm never going to find. Cut to last month, I'm at my buddy's place and I look over and I just look up at him. I'm like, you son of a bitch. He's like, what? I'm like, that's what I've been searching for 15 years. He had it. He had it mint on card sitting in a Detolf. Unifighters. I don't know if you remember those.
No. Unifighters?
Yeah. So they're made by Galoob, and they were little G.I. Joe sized O-ring figures, and they all had these backpacks that would transform, and the one I had transformed a little like jetpack. And if you collected 3 of them, they could form a bigger vehicle. So 3 jet guys formed a giant jet fighter. 3 Marines formed a helicopter.
Yeah, they're like a Centurion meets G.I. Joe.
Yeah. So it you can't find them anywhere though. So awesome. I'm on a undying quest now to.
Even the logo looks janky.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like I'm still not. It's made by Galoob, but I'm still not convinced they're not like dollar store like knockoffs or whatever.
No,
but
they're kind of sweet though. You know, you're making me think. I don't think it wasn't a cop's toy, but it was. I remember we used to live in. I think it was Staten Island at the time. I was really little. Oh, yes, dude, cops and robbers, dude, awesome.
Yeah.
But it was like a little badge. It was vac metal badge, and inside of the badge was a little figure with magnets on the bottom of his feet. I have no idea what it was, and I lost it because I was playing with it in the bathroom in elementary school. I remember, and I remember like it was all like old school, like it was PS1, like old ass New York school, and I had lost the figure in like in a radiator. But like, I remember this figure so well because I loved it because it would clip onto your shirt. You had a little bag. I would go in there. You guys know what the hell that is? I don't know what it was.
It sounds familiar. Like you saying that, like
it was little magnets on their feet, and they were small. They looked like a Dino Rider build.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell it was, but I loved it, and I can't think of it to this day.
Huh. With magnets?
They have little magnets in their feet, and they have these clunky little feet. I have no idea what it is, and I think about it every once in a while.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're like me with that. So
yeah. One day
it took me like 15 years to figure it out. But yeah, that sounds very familiar. Like I think I either had one or saw an ad or a toy commercial when I was a kid for that. It sounds extremely familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just I think we all have that little the unicorn or like the one that got away.
The whale.
The white whale. That's right.
My white whale, and I've said it multiple times. I just want a good condition, all original, like no paint issues, aloe from Dinosaurs. That's all I want. Dinosaurs. Exactly. Yeah.
Aloe just passed away, man.
Yeah, I saw that.
The voice actor.
Yeah,
that's a bummer. Oh.
Yeah. I'm dying. I want someone to pick up that property and make modern ones. That
property's so cool, dude. They're leaving Bossasaur. They're leaving.
Yeah. Oh man, the designs, like they're
really good.
Like the color palettes and everything. It's just.
I like their superpower too. Where they went. What did they say? They said They would say a word like any other '80s cartoon. De-evolve into like their dinosaur form.
Yeah.
They would like maraud or whatever.
Like the keyword. I'm just thinking Bionics on for Bionic 6 or whatever.
Dude, Bionic 6, those are cool figures, man. They weigh like 8 pounds a piece.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Yeah. That's die-cast G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah. But their articulation was kind of vintage Star Wars, weren't they, if I remember?
No,
they had more.
Yeah, it was like a hybrid G.I. Joe. So they still had like the pin shoulders and elbows and stuff and the swivels. I don't know if they're O-rings. I never had any of those.
Yeah. There was a kid down the block who had them. He had every toy, and he had those. I remember, and I didn't have them myself. But I just remember my mind being blown by this like heavy action figure. Like, what is happening here?
Yeah, I always wanted those as a kid, and even now they're too expensive for my likings to pick any of them up because they're still like if in good condition. Because obviously metal, paint chipping, all that stuff, they're like $50 for good condition one with their accessories, and it's like I can't do that.
I'll dabble with the eBay and get in the vintage toys. Like I don't go too crazy.
Yeah,
but if there's something that I need, I'll dive in. But I don't go because I know it'll get bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a sick individual where I can have like just one of the Ninja Turtles. I don't need all four. I'm one of those guys.
Animal.
So, yeah, I know, right?
Who do you take if you don't get them all?
Michelangelo. It's my namesake. I have to. He's the party dude. He was the first turtle that was ever created. He's the last Ronin. Like he survives all of them, so he's obviously the most badass. Spoiler, dude! It's 2018, man. Like you have plenty of time for that. Yeah, like my friends give me crap because I'm like, no, I'm good. I am one of those rare creatures that I can be one and done with a line, and that's
everybody who collects Venoms exclusively.
Oh yeah,
just Venom.
I do collect cables from Marvel, the comics.
That's awesomely obscure. I love that.
Yeah, well, he's my favorite. He's my favorite superhero.
Cable's pretty great. He is a superhero. He's overpowered, Cable.
Yeah.
But he's great. That's what makes him so good. Liefeld knew what was up, dude.
I almost have the entire the original Toy Biz run. I almost have all of those.
Really?
I'm missing the last two, but I do have the 2 exclusive ones because they did a colorway variant for FAO Schwartz.
Wow.
Back in the 90s, and then they had like a 6-pack color variant that he came in, and that 6-pack is like $200 if you can find it. So I got those at least.
Yeah,
loose, but I'm getting there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that you have a Cable collection.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture later. It's over there on the top of my shelf. But yeah, I got all like the Dorbs, the Funko Pops of him, and
sweet.
I got I even have a bootleg custom Lego of him.
Oh yeah,
little Lego minifigure of him and stuff.
That's sick.
One, thinking back, one of the toys that I used to always want as a kid were those Conan figures from the cartoon.
Dude, Conan the Adventurer. 6 o'clock in the morning was Conan the Adventurer, and then after that was Beast Wars, or maybe vice versa, and then Reboot. No, Reboot was after school. That's right. Maybe the topic should be 90s cartoons, because we've been going down that hole. But dude, there's 100 episodes of Conan.
Really?
It's one of the longest running cartoons.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
And that was what, one season?
No, that's right, because they used to do like 52 episodes, something like that back.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being in that?
I think Dinosaurs was like 62 episodes, one season. Like, what the hell?
Dude,
those poor animators.
Oh my god, dude, I gotta put that on like next day where I'm just cramming on design work. I'm gotta put that on the background and just listen to Dinosaurs all day long. They're leaving, buzzes, or they're leaving. But dude, Conan the Adventurer, because he had Sasha and Misha, who were they were like whatever the Russian equivalent is in Hyboria, whatever. I'm having a brain fart. Sorry. But whatever the Russian equivalent was Sasha and Misha, and then he had the prince who would turn into a jaguar. Why am I drawing a blank? He was awesome. He's so cool. And he wore like a jaguar pelt too. And then
okay, and he had like the turban.
Yes.
No.
No. The turban was the wizard guy.
Okay, yeah.
He was a wizard, and then because the first couple episodes that he's like just going to go get Set. He thinks he's going to go take out Set. Then no, Rathamon, because Rathamon is Thulsa Doom in the cartoon. They had to make a new character. I don't think they couldn't use the stuff from the. Sorry, now I'm rambling because we're talking about. I love
it.
Dude, Conan and Conan the Adventurer. Conan the Barbarian preferred Conan. We can probably go forget about Destroyer.
Not Destroyer?
Dude, not Destroyer. I mean, the when they're doing Enter the Dragon in the mirror cave or whatever, and they're fighting that weird like ogre thing. I mean, that's kind of cool. But Barbarian is, Crumb, I've never prayed to you before. We never grant me adventures day. To hell with you. Dude, it's so good. Sorry,
James Earl Jones was so young.
What?
James Earl Jones was so young in that movie.
I know. I didn't think he ever was young, but apparently...
Yeah, right?
Those bangs, dude.
Right? And Murder, She Wrote. There's one movie where she doesn't look like Murder, She Wrote.
Angela Lansbury?
Yeah. And it's like forever ago. And she's like 17 or 18 in the movie. And that's like the one movie where she doesn't look like, a 45-year-old mystery writer.
James Earl Jones has been Mufasa forever to me. You know what I mean? So he's always been like that, like 50 to like 70-year-old gap. I know it's a big gap, but like
Field of Dreams,
gentlemen. Yeah. I wonder if it's actors like that, like they get a role when they're younger, and then you don't get a prominent role until they get older.
That's probably what it is.
They're seasoned, and then you only see them when they're seasoned. However, James Earl Jones was in a lot of movies when he as a kid, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think too is like most like actors by the time they become like a name, they're like in their 40s.
That's a good point.
You know, if you think back, like there's no like 20-something-year-old that's like the leading man and a household name. You know, Tom Cruise was like in his mid 30s.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
a great point.
You know?
Yeah, because you got to work. You got to work,
especially back in the day.
Yeah,
not now. Now you have
now they find them on social media or whatever, and they throw them in
like
a movie.
15-year-olds.
Yeah, right.
Like,
TikTok, you're hired.
Like, yeah, or like what is it? The Disney kids? They're all like,
oh my god, yeah.
I mean, speaking of Wicked, I mean, Ariana Grande was a Disney kid, wasn't she?
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're all young kids, and they start. That's wild.
Yeah. I still think my favorite part was like she was on a show about a bunch of kids at a singing high school or like a performance high school, and she wasn't even like the primary character who was like the big singer on the show, and I'm like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess this kind of like what would Macho Man say? The cream rises to the top. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Cream of the crop, whatever he would say.
Yeah,
but James Earl Jones, dude. I think, dude, I don't know what it was, but I guess the bangs denoted you were a barbarian back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, because he had the bangs, and then no, actually, I'm getting things mixed up. I'm thinking of the Conan comics, right? He had the bangs in him, and they didn't give Schwarzenegger the bangs in the movie, but they
kind of
gave
has like long hair.
What's that?
And he has long hair, and it's kind of like that.
You need the
layered,
Conan.
like long hair, like foofy, but it wasn't like straight, like
like that sweet,
It's like a bowl cut, but just in the front.
yeah. I never thought about that until now. They gave Thulsa Doom the hair, but they didn't give it to Conan. I wonder what that was all about.
Because they needed to make Arnold look not less sexy. I don't know.
I'm not laying that hair. It's terrible Arnold impersonation, but
no, you did really good, man. That's looking.
Yeah, but he wouldn't do it. He's like, I'm not wearing my hair like that. No, not never. Dude, the scene when James Earl Jones also doing when he's glamoring his mother, and then he. Oh, can I curse? Oops.
Yeah.
Oh, and he cuts her head off.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy, and he sees it, and it just like forms him.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I don't blame him for that. Jesus.
And then he goes to the. I love that movie, dude. I think I watched that movie on repeat from like 2000 and like I think when I first got to Rhode Island, my buddy and I both moved to Rhode Island together. We're both in toy design, both got jobs at Hasbro, and we watched that movie I think every night for like 2 months. It would just play it on repeat on DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
And, oh my god, the movie's so good because it's got a good atmosphere. It's insane. It's metal as hell. You know what I mean? Because I think the cadence is like his town gets completely sacked, sees his mother die, then runs off and fights wolves, falls in a pit, finds a sword. He has to break off that like slag that's on or whatever. Sorry, I'm giving a whole synopsis of the movie. But then does a bunch of strong things, and the gladiatory like montage, dude.
Yeah.
With the blades. Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
don't forget about the child slavery.
What's that?
Don't forget about the child slavery that also existed in that movie.
It's dark, man. Hey, but we're doing great now. You know, we made some doing good.
Everything was way darker than we ever thought it would be, and it's okay.
You know what? You made me think when you said that. Exo Squad with the Neo Sapiens. That shit was heavy. That cartoon.
Wasn't that the first cartoon that like depicted like humans dying?
Oh, did it? I don't know. I've never seen. I don't recall that.
I think it was, but yeah, like that show had a great overarching story.
Yeah,
it was like the first cartoon that was like for adults.
Yeah, it was crazy because it was like the Neo Sapiens were slaves essentially, right? And they were like. Yeah. They were mining like O2 or something like that on Mars, and they were the only ones able to do it, and they were manning the exosuits. And then the humans were kind of the bad guys, but then it was rebel humans that were working with them, if I remember correct. I haven't seen that cartoon in forever. I need to.
There was the uprising, and then the Neo Sapiens broke free, and now it's galactic war pretty much between the Republic or whatever, and the Neo Sapiens. Then there's space pirates.
Yeah.
I'm like weirdly now second guessing whether I've ever seen this show.
Dude, it's so
good.
Maybe my memory
the designs, the E-frames and stuff. Yeah. I have all of those from when I was a kid too.
Oh, you still have them?
Oh yeah.
Dude, my buddy Chris has been picking them up. Dude, they're really cool. They're really nice designs.
Dude, there's so much packed into them.
Yeah.
They had the little cord that came out of the seat to plug in the back of the figure's head.
Oh, really?
It came with that. It had the little power cell that you could remove from the back of the E-frame. All the guns.
I wonder if that's where Fallout got the idea for their for the it must be late. I'm drawing a blank on everything. On the mech suits in Fallout. What's wrong with me? Mech suits in Fallout are called.
I don't remember.
Anyways, but in Fallout, when you get a mech suit, you can either shoot the fuel cell in the back, and then the guy has to get out, and you can steal the mech suit from him. Power armor. But I wonder if they got the idea from Exo Squad, because in the game you can pull the fuel cell out, and you can only use the power armor until the fuel cell dies out. You have to get another fusion core.
All right, interesting, cool.
Yeah. But all those guys would have been watching this stuff when they were kids. I mean, that are making all these games now and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
It all comes from something. Sorry, I cut you off. My bad.
No, it's cool. Yeah, like Exo Squad was fantastic. Like I want that show to come back.
Yeah.
I want a new Peacock. No, but I mean like a new season, new show. I bought it. I own it on streaming here.
It's on Peacock.
Or at least it's.
I might have to get Peacock now.
It's also on Amazon too. It's on
it is? All right. I'm gonna be.
There's an entire retro TV station on like Roku and Amazon streaming that just plays like old cartoons.
Dude, we had it good. We had it really good cartoons.
We did.
Like they were all they were kind of deep, and the Spider-Man cartoon was incredible too.
Yeah.
When Venom showed up, we are Venom, and he would have the two voices.
Yeah.
Sophisticated storytelling that didn't overly talk down.
That was the 90s for you.
Yeah.
It's funny because you go from He-Man and Voltron and all that stuff of like the 80s, and it's tough to digest as an adult now. Watching as an adult, and it's like, ooh, this is rough. Like I found this entertaining. And then you look at the 90s, and a lot of the 90s cartoons can still hold up pretty well.
Yeah.
And then now we're into, like you said, like the dumbed down stuff. Like it's just overly simplified. And
maybe that's the subject of the show, because we are really going down that rabbit hole.
It's like
do that.
We told you, it's loose. We're loose,
let's do that.
and we just wherever the conversation takes us.
I love it. I love it. Actually.
We just slip and slide right down that nostalgia hill. The nostalgia hill. That's what we would call it. I never got 90s was definitely extreme, because there was G.I. Joe Extreme too, right?
Yeah, that's what it was called.
No. I mean, sorry, Extreme Ghostbusters.
Extreme Ghostbusters. Yeah. Was that? There's the real Ghostbusters with Egon with the blonde hair, and then the Extreme Ghostbusters. Is that the one with the monkey or the gorilla?
No, that was Filmation Ghostbusters. That was
confused.
Parallel with the real Ghostbusters. So they Filmation had the trademark for Ghostbusters. Mm-hmm. So their cartoon was Ghostbusters.
Oh, and the real Ghostbusters was
that's why it was the real Ghostbusters, because they couldn't get the trademark to it, and they did the real Ghostbusters. So they almost ran parallel to each other, at least production wise, because of that.
Warfare, dude. That's entertainment warfare. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, and then Extreme Ghostbusters, which was interesting.
I don't remember Extreme Ghostbusters. What was it? Another kind of Ghostbusters, or was it Ghostbusters as most?
So it was Egon training a new
recruits. Okay.
There was a guy in a wheelchair, and there was a girl with black and purple hair, something like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna check a little mom and pop search engine called Google.
Alta Vista.
Oh my, yes, I remember this. I'm a very visual person, so like when I see it, like it clicks.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And is it the same artist who did the Godzilla cartoon?
Remember it looks like it. It probably is. Yeah.
They all had that kind of like a sloppy but not sloppy look.
Yeah.
They had for a little bit. Yeah. Dude, this is kind of rad.
I'm fine with sloppy look. What I don't like is like those. Remember when those X-Men anime cartoons that they did?
The X-Men, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I hated those. I couldn't stand the animation because it was like to save money. It's like, all right, they're gonna stand there and we're just gonna animate the mouth moving while they talk, and like nothing else is moving. Like, oh, I hate it.
Yeah, anime. It's so weird. Like I have a love-hate relationship with anime. Like I love anime, but I don't love anime. I love Ninja Scroll. I love Akira. I love these movies I shouldn't have saw when I was younger, and then it blew my mind. And like when we were kids, trying to find anime when we were kids, like you gotta go to Blockbuster, try to find it, couldn't find it, or you had to go into the dark web and then you download a virus when you're trying to get it. And then like the Fist of the North Star, and I was like, what is this movie? This is blowing my mind. And then now they can go on Netflix.
Yeah, there's thousands and thousands.
But it's not the same animation.
No, dude, it's not the same.
Nothing is Akira.
No.
Here's the thing.
That old Toei animation and stuff.
Yeah.
The new anime is really like it's
overly polished.
Yeah, it's not as pretty as the old stuff.
It's not like, even that. It's just kind of like it's almost massively overproduced now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's flat. There's no soul in it.
Yeah,
much. Whereas, I mean, I'm sure there's many more than we all know, but like you're right. Like it was like download some, real player media, real media file from some weird Russian website that had English subs and dubs and stuff like that, or finding a random mom and pop rental store that had a copy of something. Or
by me, there was Home Vision Video, and they had a tiny little section of anime when I was a kid, and I used to go. I went through and rented everything. Like every week, I'd pick something else and I watch it. And then once the internet came around, and this was probably like Dragon Ball was on TV, like the original Dragon Ball. You have to wake up at like 6 in the morning. No, before Toonami existed.
Before Toonami, damn.
Yeah, like it was like on for here it was like WLVI 56. That was the station. I don't know what it was nationally, but you'd have to wake up at like 6 a.m. to watch Dragon Ball. This is before Dragon Ball Z came out, right? And then that's what really like skyrocketed me in anime was that, and that's what made me go to the video store and rent it. Yeah, and then Toonami came out, and then it's like Dragon Ball Z, and then there's Sailor Moon and all this other stuff, and like shit, this is good. And then I got into a lot of fan subs. So, stuff that was only out in Japan that fans were translating into English with this custom subtitles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then releasing. So, like, I was downloading, like, Ramna Half, Kenshin, like, all these things, like, just downloading them.
You were into anime.
In the beginning of, like, the early 2000s. The early 2000s, I was really into it. And, like, it's Ronin Warriors, but it's, like... I can't even pronounce it, but it's like something Samurai Troopers in Japan.
Okay.
And like I was full blown into that. Guyver.
Dude, Guyver. The Guyver movies were awesome.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I'm gonna transition into. Yeah. The movies were so like I saw it at the video store and I was like, because I watched the cartoon, I got the comics, like they weren't even like, it wasn't even like manga, it was actual like comics I was getting, and I saw the movie at the store and I was like, holy shit, and it looks like him, it looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
And then you watch it and like the Zoonoids and the way they were transforming and like he's just like crushing their heads. I was like, oh shit, like,
so good. Fucking gory.
And fucking Mark Hamill's in the first one.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh god, dude, the costume was so good.
It was like great.
That makeup. It was so raw, and it's like, the drawing was always incredible, and the anime was always cool looking, but then like the movie captured it and just took it to the plane where it's kind of like, it's why we used to get excited about live action versions of everything, because like, you're gonna take the thing I love and just kind of push it and zhuzh it to the level that I think it looks like,
and then you get Dolph Lundgren, He-Man.
With that bitch, no,
the cosmic key.
Dude, the cosmic key. There is an interesting decision that happens when they say, that thing that takes place in a completely different world that's all fantasy based and there's like crazy sci-fi stuff and dragons. We're going to put it in New York City. Like, that decision is like, what is happening? Why are you guys making that? I get it, budget, but don't do it. Just don't make the movie.
Yeah. But hey, it launched Courtney Cox's career. So let's...
I still love that movie though. Let's be clear here. Like, I still love it.
For what it is, it's good, right?
Dude, Skeletor's design at the end when he gets that crazy armor.
Yeah, that's toyetic as fuck.
Yeah, that figure's awesome.
Yeah,
Mattel made it, right? That figure's incredible. Maybe I'm imagining it, but
Matty Collector might have, I think.
Maybe Matty.
They might have
years ago. I think.
Yeah, I don't remember a vintage one. I don't think there was a vintage one because
not a vintage. They did it. They did it in their the collector style.
Yeah. So Matty Collector.
Yeah.
Before Super 7 bought the line or whatever.
Yep.
But all right. I mean, it's got good stuff, but it's He-Man. You want a scrawny Prince Adam. You want I have the power, and he turns into He-Man. And
I hope the movie's good that they're working on. Like,
oh my god! Supposedly, Idris Elba signed on as Man-at-Arms. That's the new rumor.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm down for every one that they've casted so far. Yeah, I still think they should have got Zac Efron as He-Man though.
He's got the jaw, and there's a scene where what movie was he making where he got huge?
Iron Claw.
That's right, because he had 70s hair and he looked like He-Man.
Yeah. He looked like He-Man. I don't know the kid's name. I don't know. Look it up later. But I'm fine with it. It's.
I like no names in movies. I feel like no names are better because you get kind of like sucked in a little bit more.
Yeah, you get lost in it instead of.
Yeah, I like that better.
You don't have anything to compare him to.
Yeah. It's like the first Lord of the Rings. Like, yeah, they were known actors, but not like amazingly known. And then what's his name? Gimli. I always forget his name. That actor.
Reese.
Yes, but like he was in so much makeup that you got lost. I'm like, that's Gimli.
Yeah,
that's Gimli.
But it's crazy how they do that. And I like no names too, because it's like Nick said, you got nothing to compare them to, and they just embody that character. But you got to hand it to like casting directors lately, like spot on for who they choose to play a lot of these roles, like just the way they look. And it's like, even like when they announce some things, I'm like, that's stupid. That's a terrible choice. But then you see them like in the makeup and the costume, and you're like, all right, I was wrong.
Yeah. It's definitely a skill it's a skill to understand other people's skills.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go.
Like, that's a special power. Go, that person's really good at that. We should kind of push them in that direction. I'm trying to think of something recently that they did. Paul Moadib in the new Dune movies. Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Perfect. He's perfect. Yeah. That's Paul Atreides. 100%. Yeah. Like, more so than the Lynch movies. Like I'm a Dune. I love Dune. Like, I'm 10 books in. Like, I
haven't read any of the books. I saw both of the new movies. And then the TV show just came out, right?
Yeah, we've been watching it. It seems pretty good. It's like the beginning of the Bene Gesserit, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So it's after. Actually, I just finished the Butlerian Jihad, and it's about how humankind rebels against AI. Kind of hits home a little bit.
A little bit.
But like so the Dune verse is huge. It's like 10,000 years in the future. The Butlerian Jihad takes place like 4,000 years in the future. Okay. So from then to when you meet Paul Atreides, it's like, I think it's 5,000 or 6,000 years or something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The books are crazy. Like, they're on another. So when Herbert died, his son took over in writing, and he had a writing partner with him. The Herbert books are definitely more Dune-ish. They're more political and more like deeper thought and more that like kind of like trippiness. And then his son's books are a little bit more like, I guess, push the narrative along.
Okay, sure.
Books. But if you're looking for good books, the first 3 Dune books are great. And then I would pick and choose from his son's books. They're pretty good, but some people, my friends are all laughing. My other dorky friends are laughing at me that I like them. They're like, you like Frank Herbert's son's books? I'm like, I want more Dune universe. Of course, I'm going to listen. I listen to a lot of books.
My brother's read them. I mean, he loves them. Like, I don't know how many he's read, but he keeps telling me I should listen to them, and I'm like, I got 50,000 other things. But everybody's got their crux, man, and that's, you know, it's let people enjoy it. You know, the more 100%. Fanfic or the more fanfare things get, the more we get, and you know, not everybody's got to love the 75,000 versions of Star Trek or you know, the 50 versions of, you know, Transformers that we have. You know, you don't have to like them all. They're not for everybody.
Yeah, but they're there for a reason. You know, like I love you know, that saying is like every version is someone's G1.
Yes.
You know?
Everybody loves that character. It's something Tony and I always say to each other. Like, somebody loves that character.
Yeah. Or that movie, right? Or that movie was what got people, or that book is what got people into the franchise.
Yep.
You know, so it's doing its job. It might not be what you want, but it's what somebody wants, and it's what brought them into the property, which is going to produce more of that property.
And it's great for our culture. You know what I mean? Like, you need creative culture. You need creative risk-taking. That way things propel themselves forward and inspire somebody else to do something, right? Like, if everything stays the same, things get a little more homogenized. I don't think it's like this problem that like everything's going to stay like solid, but you need to create. Everything can't feel like it's just for consumerism. It has to be created with storytelling and love of like of the craft of doing
for sure.
Right? Like, we're watching. My wife and I were watching a show recently, and we're watching it. I was like, these producers love this. Like, this is like when it feels like an art form and you're watching something special.
Yeah.
And you're, even with a toy, when you see something like you're seeing something special, I feel like sometimes when you get something, it's like it's overly done with consumerism, and how can we monetize this thing? Like, I think that's when things become a problem. But that's why risks have to be taken, because risk with love.
Yeah.
And then you get other people to go, oh, I can create something too. I got an idea. And then they go off and make their thing.
Yeah.
Right. So I love seeing that inspirational work, you know?
Yeah. For all you know, those terrible Doom books might have inspired someone to start writing their, you know, you look at, what is it? 50 Shades of Grey is Twilight fan fiction. Like,
I heard about that. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey, but you know, from what it sounds like, it's definitely a far takeoff of Twilight. But,
that's crazy that it's fanfic. That like blows my mind. I heard about this a couple months ago. I was like, really? Like,
I mean, I didn't dig deep into it, but that's what I've heard. It's like, all right, so you go from sparkly vampires to bondage. Okay. Like, what?
Dude, I went to see Twilight with my best bud and my wife, and she was my fiance at the time, and she's like, okay, I'll be your guy's date. And I'm like, my buddy wanted to see it because his sister likes it and he read it, and I'm like, all right, we'll go to the movies with you and see it. And we're watching it, and the sparkly vampire thing. Now the whole movie was killing me. I was like, this movie, I can't abide this movie. No. But then the sparkly vampire thing, I was like, dude, what? Why am I here?
Scene. The baseball scene is one of the best cinematic sequences in film history.
Oh my god,
it's insanity.
I was hoping
they do that in the book. They play baseball in the book.
Yeah, they do. The only reason I know that is because I was told by the person I saw them with that they were I was like, because I think I had that same question. They're like, no, that's in the book, and I was like, okay, but I think the artistic liberties of like how that scene plays out on screen is slightly different than the book, because you can't write that. I don't think you could have written how that came out on a piece of paper.
There's this true visionary right there. True visionary,
right? And those movies, I've seen them all. They are not the worst piece of cinema I've seen. I cannot get behind.
Continues.
I can't get behind sparkly vampires, but that's also because
that killed
Blade
me.
and
the first time I saw that, right? Because this is you're coming off all that like the Underworld movies, right? So we got Underworld with like the Lycans and the vampires, and it's like, oh,
that's
cool.
A werewolf. That's what a werewolf looks like. Not a husky. Werewolves are not huskies. They're really scary, long-limbed, tall, monstrous things that want to kill everything.
Yes.
That's a werewolf.
So like I watched Twilight, and I'm like, there's got to be some redeeming factor. And even if it's not for me, I still like to see people's visions of things. And I was like, all right, they're like they're vampires, and he's like, you're not gonna like me in the daylight or whatever he says, and I'm like, oh, is it gonna become grotesque or turn into a monster? And then he like just starts sparkling, and I'm like, I think I audibly groaned in the theater.
Like writhing too.
Oh. That's exactly what I did.
It's like Superman when he's like, with the sun, like.
Dude.
But think about that. That broke Robert Pattinson in, and then we got Pattinson.
Yeah.
But
I like Pattinson.
Actively a fantastic actor.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, no, he's good.
He is.
We saw a movie. It was him and Timothy Chalamet, and they were playing the King of France and the King of England. Edmund, I think it was Edward. The name of the movie. It was on Netflix. It's incredible. It's the two of them having like a tactical warfare and like sending the troops in, and like Pattinson. I'm calling him Batman. Pattinson, whatever. He's messing with King Edward, and like because he's a more seasoned king, and he's just kind of like, but Edward is more of a pious king. It's an interesting movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I remember it being really good, but it's a really cool war tactic movie. But like Robert Pattinson's a great actor, and he just plays this like
he's good
king. It's awesome.
Well, it's funny too. Like people get typecast or they get attached to a single role. A lot of times, like him with Twilight, right? So a lot of people associate him with Twilight and don't give him a chance, let's say, right? But that was the way that it was for years with Ryan Reynolds, right? He was Van Wilder. Right. He was two guys, a girl in a pizza parlor, and he's just the funny guy. But then, whatever. I'm thinking about the Clerks cartoon. The Clerks cartoon, they call it two guys, a girl in a pizza parlor.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. But then you look at like he did like Chaos Theory and Definitely Maybe and The Nines, and then he did Buried. And it's like, if you can put a camera and be the only person on screen for 90 minutes and carry a movie, like that's some acting chops.
That's crazy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was literally you hear him and then like two other voices. But he's the only person you see in the entire 90 movie.
Crazy. What movie is that?
Buried?
Buried? No, I've never seen Buried.
He's a construction contractor over in like Afghanistan or Iraq or something like that, and he gets kidnapped and buried alive. So it's him literally in a coffin throughout the whole movie. That's it.
Oh, I heard of that movie. No, I never saw.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. I would get an anxiety attack watching.
Oh my god, it was fantastic. Like it's just him. He's got a cell phone and like a lighter, and that's it.
Promos for this.
Oh, it's such a good movie. But everyone's like, oh, the Van Wilder guy, huh? And it's like, no, the dude can act.
The dude can act. Yeah.
Let's be clear, he's still Van Wilder. Let's.
I mean, yeah. But he can act. He can act on top.
But he's a good actor. He's got range.
Yeah.
He's got Van Wilder. He's got Van Wilder in space with a green ring. He's got Van Wilder in a red jumpsuit. He's got Van Wilder at a pizza place. He's got
Is he snarky when he's buried?
No. No, it's a completely serious movie.
Oh,
like
wow.
it's
there
really
you go,
good.
Ryan.
Yeah, and then what? There's a captive that he was in. Like it's a guy where his like daughter gets kidnapped or something like that. I forget.
Captivity?
I don't know.
Captivity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is buried Guillermo del Toro? Did he direct it?
Maybe I don't remember.
What's on
I think it's like 2008.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, that must be it.
Oh no, The Buried Giant. Sorry, I'm looking at Google image searches. Dude, Cabinet of Curiosities is really cool. Speaking of him,
what movie?
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that.
Netflix. It's like an anthology show, and it's like a bunch of short stories, and it's just Guillermo del Toro's take on them, and it's awesome. It's really cool. It's all
does some good stuff.
His kind of horror.
Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's rad.
I thought that's like high on the list of stuff that me and my partner were like. She was like, "Ooh, what's that?" And I was like, "I don't know," but we popped the preview on, and I think even my 11-year-old wanted to watch that. So
yeah, some of it's kind of really scary. I'm trying to think. One of the episodes is wild. It's like this pink goop this lady gets. She's like a stay-at-home mom, and her husband, like, he's never home, and then she watches like this television show, and it's like a home shopping network show she's watching. He's talking. He's selling this pink goop. It's going to change your life and make you the best person there's ever been. And then all of a sudden he starts talking to her. It's kind of like, you guys remember Outer Limits? Or like, it's like Outer Limits or Twilight Zone, the show. So it's an anthology. And then basically she starts buying the pink goop. And then like, it just gets really Guillermo del Toro from there.
Nice.
Like it just gets crazy. And it's incredible. So it's kind of gory, can be scary some episodes. So I would watch it before. I don't know how squeamish your kid can get, but I don't watch it. Watch it before.
Yeah, no.
My 11-year-old mostly okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't put that in front of my 6-year-old. She keeps on asking to watch. She wants to watch Chucky and stuff, and I'm like, no.
Oh
no. No.
You're asking for them to be in your bed for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then she begs to watch Rick and Morty, and I'm like, no.
Oh no, dude, Rick and Morty. I love Rick and Morty, dude.
I did take her to meet the voice actors at Rhode Island Comic Con, so she did get to at least talk to them. But yeah, they were super cool with her and stuff. And I was like, she loves you guys. She hasn't seen a single thing, but she loves you guys.
Yeah. Well, kids see it. They see all the pop culture stuff. Even if they don't see movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was Pickle Rick for Halloween.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. Usually I go all out, but this year was a little rough. So I was like, maybe I could be Pickle Rick, and there was a costume, so I went and grabbed it.
That's awesome.
But normally we go nuts.
Yeah.
One year, my buddy Tony made a Mogwai costume, and he was a giant Mogwai.
That's awesome.
Like the ears were maybe 6 feet wide.
Yeah,
it was crazy. I think I was Skeletor that year.
I hope it wasn't raining that year.
Oh man, it just starts more of them popping out of his back. He was Spike too on top of it. No, Mohawk.
Oh, okay.
So he wasn't even Gizmo. He was Mohawk. Yeah,
that's a valid choice.
Yeah, dude, Mohawk is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's awesome. It's in the movie. Have you seen the Key and Peele skit? Okay. It's the room or whatever. Vegetable gremlin. It's in the movie. I love his outfit when he walks in the boardroom with the blonde hair and he's in the Zubas jumpsuit and he's just like telling him it's so good.
But we did. We got so many ridiculous things back then.
A lot of gold.
Some very tin stuff as well. Very good.
We watched the other night for the first time in the longest time. My brother and I used to watch it like crazy. The Last Dragon.
Come on, Bruce Leroy,
dude.
He was at Rhode Island 2 years ago.
I was going to say who was the baddest?
Show enough.
That was so good.
his goons, their costumes are incredible. What they're like it's like a Shogun gi with like tiger stripes on it, but the tiger stripes are green, and they get the berets on. I'm like, they look like the coolest Streets of Rage background bad guys ever.
Fist of Fury.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that movie was so good. I remember watching that.
Move your feetsies. What's his dad's name? Something Papa's Pizza or something like that. Like the slogan for the pizzeria.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It's so good, dude.
Shown
I
Up.
love it. Shown Up goes and destroys the pizza. What's that?
Movie
Wizard.
You said Send Me an Angel, and I thought that's where your brain went, because every time I hear Send Me an Angel, it's what I think of.
It was in Wizard too?
Yeah.
Well, you talking about the Power Glove movie?
Yeah.
Dude, the Power Glove movie. The Power Glove, wow, that thing.
Oh my god.
Really cool.
I
need to get one.
Looked really cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen 8-Bit Christmas?
Yes.
Yes, that movie's awesome.
You know, you talked about the kid who down the street who had everything, like, right? We talked about the Power Glove, how it looked really cool, but was really a piece of crap.
Yeah.
And you know, that whole movie was fantastic.
Yes. It was Doogie Howser? Was that the main
Doogie
character?
Howser.
Yeah. I like how I used his name as I forgot his real name.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris. That's right.
And PH.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah, the Power Glove. Nothing, but it doesn't beat Captain N, the Game Master.
Game Master.
The
kid has a Power Glove, by the way. I'm still looking at Turbo Kid. He's got a Power Glove.
He has a Power Glove.
He has a sort of Power Glove, but it's really cool too. It's got like 80 stripes on it. That like red, yellow, and stripes on like.
Oh, okay.
You know, like they always had that like kind of look.
Maybe it wasn't like an actual Power Glove that they just spray painted for the costume.
Funny. It's cool. You should check it out. I think you'll dig it. It's cool. It's 80s retro chic to the done beautifully. I can't believe 2015.
Oh man! Yeah, you want to talk about 80s retro? I love this movie. It is fantastic. I think it came out 3 or 4 years ago. If you like 80s action adventure sci-fi movies, Psycho Gorman.
Psycho Gorman's awesome.
Dude, you seen it?
Yes,
it's so good. It's so good.
It's crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god. It was during the pandemic. My buddy and I, we did like a stream watch together.
Okay, yeah.
We watched on our laptops. That movie is insane. I don't remember it that well. I think it was like pandemic's a dark time for all of us.
It was so out there, so crazy. Yeah. It's like so good.
Crazy looking. Like
it was so good.
Summoned. What was the part? He was summoned to help the kids, but he's a demon.
He was a demon, and the kids, while they're playing in the backyard, found like a gem that woke him up, and whoever holds the gem can control him. So the little girl who's like 12 years old, and she's like a complete like asshole. It's so funny.
Psycho Gorman, dude. Psycho Gorman. I can't believe you've seen Psycho Gorman. That's so cool.
Oh man, that was one of my favorite movies.
Second episode that movie's come up in.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's then wild movie.
Their friend Alistair gets transformed into a giant brain, and like the movie ends and they don't resolve it. So there's like an after credit scene where they're like sitting there having dinner, and like Alistair's sitting there as a brain, like eating dinner with them. Like,
I'm looking at the pictures from the movie now. I just found a really cool poster that I think I'm going to pick up. This is awesome.
They made like little like 5 points action figures from it too, but I missed out on it. By the time I found out about Psycho Gorman, it was too late, and like they're all sold out. And I was like,
he's so crazy. He looks like what's his name, Lord Humongous? No, not Lord Humongous. What's from me? Gwar.
Yeah,
the lead singer from Gwar.
Oh yeah.
Odorous. Yeah. I took a couple of buds to go see Gwar about a year ago, and it took. I mean, I love metal. And I I love kitschy metal, like funny metal too. It's fun to go see, like Brother metal and stuff like that. It's fun. And I'm like, come on, look, you'll like Gwar. You'll like them, and they delivered. That's all I gotta say. They delivered. It was awesome.
It's an experience. That's what you're there for. You're there for an experience.
When I was a kid, I was in a band, and we opened up for them in Jersey.
Oh, nice! That's awesome.
Yeah, we were like kind of like the house band for Birch Hill. It was a club. I don't know if it's open still, but we would like sell tickets like crazy, so they would give us all these opening acts, which was pretty fun. But like I remember playing that show. That was something else, man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What'd you play?
I was the singer, or we were like I was a singer, but we were more like a post-hardcore band. So it's
okay.
Yeah.
That's
a good time. That's a good time.
My wheelhouse is I like a lot of like pop punk, post-hardcore, easycore, stuff like that. That's my whole bass rig right there.
Oh, sweet! When
I was playing and stuff like that. And
that's awesome. Yeah, we used to practice in a room with giant amps like that because my brother's like, you gotta practice at 10 and 11.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, we were like super into like Poison the Well and all that, the kind of like bands.
Okay.
So like we like the two-step. We like the two-step and a throwdown, you know.
Yeah.
Also from Jersey, so we had to listen to E-Town Concrete, you know what I mean? Like certain things.
Yeah.
Certain staples.
We unfortunately up here we're in New Hampshire, so we're not too far from you. The music scene like is terrible up here for like any up and coming bands and stuff. You know, if anyone, that's why I stopped playing because I'm like I'm not going to go anywhere. Like
it's tough,
and then you start a family and it's like all right, well you know the podcast takes me away enough from my family. Like I can't be out practicing 3 nights a week, and then and when I was playing, it was going to Boston, you know, because we're every weekend in Boston playing shows and stuff like that. It just gets to be a lot when it's not,
it's a lifestyle, right? And like we were doing it when we were in college, so it's like you can do that lifestyle, but like as you get older, that's actually why we stopped playing, because like a lot of us like were like getting married or
same here,
college. It's just kind of like you kind of just go do another thing. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, it was like mid to late 20s when I stopped because it was like, I want a career, I want stability, so I chose the path of, the enlightened man.
What is it? The company, no, not company man. They have in Japan they call it something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a really funny term for somebody who wears like a suit to work or like a corporate guy.
Okay.
It'll dawn on me later, but it's pretty funny.
You'll just randomly yell it out in the middle of the night.
Yeah. They're like, this is
this year has been crazy for me. Like, it's been probably like at least 3 years since I've like gone to a concert.
Oh,
I've gone to like 10 this year.
That's awesome. Where did we go? I went with a couple guys from work. We went to Ozfest, maybe, I don't know, might have been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think Dragon Force was playing, so we went to go, and it was in the stadium area in not Gillette. What's that? I can't remember which stadium. It was a really big place. But anyways,
the Xfinity Center.
Yes, it was the Xfinity Center. Yep.
Okay.
And it was just weird. Everybody in the stadium seating. Like I just like it's like I'm watching Journey. What's going on here? Like, it's like not my kind of scene. Like I like
like I saw. Yeah, well, it depends on who it is. I want energy. I want that intimate contact with my fellow patrons. Like I saw Billy Joel at Fenway Park. That was obviously seating. My wife surprised me with tickets. I think 2018 to see Hall & Oates up here.
That must have been awesome.
It was fantastic because it was a ride because it was, I think 2018.
I'll be back in a minute.
And
you guys
the opening act played. I had no idea who they were. Mm-hmm. And then Hall & Oates comes on and a crazy lightning storm started happening. So the place shut down the concert. Yeah. And Daryl Hall's on stage and he's like, they're telling me I can't play my songs. He's like,
sassy, huh?
Oh yeah, they cut the power and stuff. Yeah. And then they not refunded, but they honored, like, all right, we're gonna rebook them and all your tickets, you guys can come back. So it was like that, but then it was COVID. So they had to do it again. So we finally got to see them, and it was a different opening act, but this opening act was. You ever heard of the band Smooth?
I think I have heard Smooth.
So they did that song "Tempted." You know, tempted by fruit of another and stuff. So they were the opening band this time. So I was like, all right, this is fucking cool. Like, so they upgraded our seats because of the whole hassle and stuff like that.
It was funny. That Gwar show. I was like, I'm not going to the pit. I'm old. And then I was like, who was playing? It's been a minute. And like, there's a really crazy 2-step. And the pit was opening up, and I was like, "Yeah, I could still do this." And I went in, man, and my buddy was like, "Dude, the joy on your face when you were just throwing down in that pit, it was just like, I'm like, yeah, dude, I grew up doing that. That was my childhood. Like, we went 2 shows. Sometimes we go to 3 shows a day. Like, we were like super into it. It's what we did. Like, and we were all into like how good you are in the pit, what's your move.
Oh, like, Jesus.
Yeah, we were like we were Jersey hardcore kids. Like, we thought we were little badasses. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it was our thing.
Hell yeah.
So, but I'm like, after I got it, I'm like, I still got it.
Got it. No, before I go to a concert, I pop about 4 Tylenol before I go. I mean, I just turned 40 this year, so
oh, congratulations!
Yeah, thanks. So
I'm 41.
Fine. There you go. So, you're right on. So I'm fine in the pit. It's the next morning when I wake up sore. Yes. So that's why I pop some beforehand.
It's weird. Like, mentally, I think I'm 25.
Yeah.
But
it's
I'm
weird.
40.
It's crazy.
I'm 41.
It's crazy, right? 40-year-olds when we were kids were not like this.
40-year-olds when we were kids, I felt like they were like 70-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm 40 and I feel like a fucking child most of the time.
Yeah.
Legit. Like I'm jumping around like an idiot, like trying to make my daughter smile.
Like, were they just putting up a front back in the day when we were kids? You know what I mean?
Probably.
Maybe they were. Like,
well, that's the funny thing. Like, the biggest lie that we ever tell ourselves is that we know what we're doing.
Oh, that's a fact.
Right? Like, our parents didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
No.
They were just trying their best.
Just trying.
Yeah.
Just trying. And it's just
But as a kid, they knew. They knew. You knew. Like, to you, they knew. Like, your parents had the answers. They knew what they were doing. They had it all figured out. And then you grow up, and that illusion shattered, and you're like, oh, shit. No, they had no idea. They cared, and they tried, and that's
it makes you respect them a little bit more, too. Like, they were trying to figure it out, and they were doing everything they could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. It's like they may not have – they're just trying to find the answers. They're trying to direct things in the proper direction so things didn't fall apart.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't easy out there, man. You know?
Like, no, it's not. But, like, we're definitely, our age is, definitely lucky. We're definitely blessed. Like, so we're dying. Like, I forget the term and who said it, but we are legit like a dying, like, generation, because we're the last generation that was not born on the internet. If you think about it,
that's right. We're technically, I think we're called a zillennial. So like we grew up with. We saw the invention of the internet.
Yeah.
Then we learned how to use the internet, but we still learned like skills like cursive and like how to write letters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we were also in a digital space. Like you had a beeper.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, right. So it's like we've seen the gamut of technology.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why I think we're lucky, because we're experiencing it all. Like, we experienced a time where there was no internet. Like, you're going outside, you're riding your bike, and you're playing with your friends, and then video games came around and became more prominent, and then computers and the internet. So like, we got to see it all and experience it all. So like, I feel bad for like our kids, and like, not you know what I mean, like. My daughter isn't online a whole bunch, right? She has a tablet, but like she won't touch it for like weeks because like she likes to play. She likes to she'll watch TV and movies and stuff like that. But like she asked me today, like, can we play Ninja Turtles? And I'm like, yeah, go get your little tote full of them. We're you know, like last Christmas she got the sewer layer, and you know, the van. Like she's got everything, and it's like, all right, let's play. And
we've entered after school activities chapter.
Yeah.
Right. So like that's a lot of like karate and cheerleading and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And like so the tablet, it's definitely taken a back seat, which is great.
It's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like, but then like today we were playing video games together, which was awesome. Right.
Yeah.
So it's
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, it was it's more balanced now. I think the pandemic we all forget how much it threw things out of whack.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Like
but her and I played and beat Shredder's Revenge together.
Oh, that game's so good.
Like we actually played it together and like we beat it. Like I did not touch it unless she was there with me. She did not touch it unless I was there.
Who you guys play as?
Michelangelo. Like she's Leonardo. Her favorite color is blue. Leonardo's her guy.
Leonardo, I was as a kid I was torn because my name in Italian is Leonardo.
Yeah. So
I love Leonardo, but Raphael was so cool.
Yeah, I mean they're all cool. That's the thing.
They're all cool. But my guy, I heard. Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
This is the new one.
Yeah, the new ones look good.
Yeah, everyone complained about the texture. It's definitely more than I would like, but like these things are fantastic.
Good, though.
Yeah.
What's it called? I gotta download the new upgrade for that game. Did you get Mondo Gecko?
Oh no, I did not.
And then Usagi Yojimbo's in it now too.
We are here to be excited to have these conversations with you guys, right? That's what we're here for. We want to be caught up in those moments where, sure, we've talked. I have said Dino Riders, and we're at episode 35 right now, right? I think I've brought up Dino Riders having to come back in probably 30 of them.
Right? That's awesome.
And then I say Dinosaurs and.
You're right. Like we talk about dinosaur cartoons just as often as like anything else, but I bring everybody's like, "What's the property?" I'm like, Dino Riders. Just give me freaking Dino Riders.
I want it back too.
I've looked at the so is the Cryptozoic, Cyberzoic, or whatever. They look fantastic, but the one thing that hasn't come out in this episode is I'm not a huge toy collector. Like I have had to. Like, I have a lot of stuff around me, right? Like, you can see a lot of that, right? And I have so much stuff that you can't even see. Like, I had to personally tell myself, like, you cannot get into toy collecting at this time in your life, right? Like, you bowed out years ago. All of your extraneous money goes into so many other things. I don't know where I would even put more action figures at this point.
They stack up, dude. You know, it's
especially when you don't open them like a lot of the time. Like, you know, that's my problem. Is like, that's it. Like, so Mike loves the toys. We keep up on to date and stuff like that. But man, you guys
open and play.
Yeah.
Toys add up quick.
They do.
And they take up a lot of room quick.
Yeah.
And especially inbox guys, I take everything out. And I throw boxes out too. I don't know if it's blasphemous or not, but like they take a lot of room, man.
I mean, I feel bad because like the box designers and stuff are beautiful pieces of art, but yeah, I have no room. I can't.
Yeah. I mean, I've flattened some boxes that I like the aesthetic of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, just a lot. Yeah. Although I'm lying a little bit. My Joy Toys, I kept the boxes for because I think they look good. Oh, the mech suits.
Yeah, all those things are beautiful. Those are expensive too. But I do have my Hits box in storage though. So
they did a great job on the schematic on that one. That was cool. That one it felt beautiful. It felt like a different vibe. That was cool.
Yeah, it was like a
right now. It's right there.
Modern retro vibe.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, thanks, Lenny, for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
this is
thanks
awesome.
for having me.
It was fantastic.
Really fun. Long time coming. Before you go ahead.
I was going to say it took forever, but we got here. We're here. We're here.
That shows
it's not the destination; it's the journey.
And we were persistent.
Yes. I really appreciate you guys having patience with us getting here. it's a big company and it moves a little slow sometimes.
Yes,
So.
sometimes the big things move a little bit slow, and that's fine. But before we cut you loose, just letting everybody know where they can find you and anything you got going on. I want to talk about.
Well, you guys all know me from G.I. Joe Classified. You can find me on Instagram on Weather Dominator. I don't really do much more social media than that. You can find some posts about some of our control art that I create and some photography that we put up on Hasbro every once in a while. So if you want to see some more insider stuff on G.I. Joe, check out my Instagram. Again, it's Weather Dominator. What's going on? Just working on some more G.I. Joes. And I can't wait to do more of them. And I just love seeing the photography that the fans do. And it's just been really cool and really fun and gratifying to see everything that everybody as a community is coming together doing. So, again, great to be here.
Fantastic.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Lenny.